Hey, welcome. I found a different tree for us. Today I'm talking about embracing the stillness. My name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer. I'm a psychologist for the last 20 plus years, and I teach, I walk with you as we navigate through your spiritual awakening. I teach mindfulness and getting into the quiet and knowing your true self and all sorts of things. So welcome along. Today, I just got the intuition. I teach you how to follow your intuition because I follow my intuition. So I believe in this idea of, leading by example. Always, if I don't practice what I'm teaching, then it's not going to be effective. It's not worth it. So my intuition was saying, teach what I've been learning. Just teach what I've been learning. I've been learning all these things by entering into the quiet. And so I have a few minutes to teach right now. Because my passion is just, I don't want anyone to be stuck. I don't want you to be stuck in your own pain, in your own suffering, in your own addictions, in your own less than. I want everyone to have the very best life. And you can create that. And our mind has all these ideas about how to create that. But our mind leads us astray. Like I was showing my arms all these other times because, and I was in correspondence today and the other day with the guy that created my yoga videos. I had been wanting to lose weight for 20 years, and don't worry, weight's just a metaphor for all of our other transformations. So this is not going to be about weight loss or something, but I had wanted to lose all this weight for 20 years. And I met this guy 20 years ago, this guy that made these yoga videos on VHS tapes. And those are the ones I came back to. And look, here's like a seed right here around me, like a little berry. And it's like, I was trying all those years to let go of this weight that I had been holding onto my body for various psychological and whatever reasons, And I had tried it's like I was on a diet for 20 years. Like, how miserable is that? When all along, when I just stopped and I was quiet and I gave up on it and I just said, I'm just going to like myself as I am and deal with it. But I had this burning something inside of me, this passion to be like, forget it. I'm not carrying all the weight of the world anymore. That was part of the psychological stuff, is I was carrying the weight of the world. And I'm bringing this to your attention because you have areas in your own life where you have been trying your own way to either run away from the pain or numb the pain or justify what you're doing or run away from your real purpose. Or, and someone messaged me. I love this person. I won't even say if it's a he or a she. Messaged me the other day and was like, I feel like you're talking right to me. You're calling me out. I'm like, dude, I'm calling myself out. Like, if it feels like I'm calling you out, it's because I'm calling myself out, This guy, Trent, Shelton, put out a great video earlier this week, a couple days ago. Oh, I forgot the title of it, but, dude, I think one of the things he said is I was born worth it or something like that. And this isn't about having cheesy phrases that you just repeat to yourself. They're not cheesy. You can repeat those all you want. But it's kind of like, what I'm learning is the quicker way is to just change your consciousness, change your level of consciousness. If you think of Christ coming here, and I'm wearing my Irish cross today, I'm a psychologist, but I'm also a licensed lay minister. I went to this class for 4 years to get that and to become part of that order in a way. But don't worry, I don't try to get over religious at all. I just want to speak in a universal term so everyone can get this. I don't want anyone to miss out on this. When you're just running after results, it's like, do you think I want to be someone's trophy wife? Do you want to be someone's trophy husband or trophy wife? You don't want to be just here, you're here to make me feel better and look better and and take care of all the insecurities that I have in my ego self, all the lack, because the ego's always in lack. So no one can ever do that. And so somehow we subconsciously, we feel the truth of that. We resonate with understanding that we can't ever do that for another person. And so although our flesh, like our egotism, like, oh yes, you know, it's appealing in one way, because it's like, yeah, let me take away all your problems, and then you're dependent on me, and I'm your beauty, and I'm your blah 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 blah. You know, we think that that's going to be the solution, but then when it all breaks apart, hint, read chapter 8 of The Power of Now. You can find it online. Eckhart Tolle is reading it, or get the Audible. I don't encourage just taking something that someone else worked hard for, their intellectual property, you know. But I have it on Audible, so I was listening to it the other day, and it talks about relationships, and it's so good. And he talks about why only like 5% of relationships are conscious. And I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, you can start having a conscious relationship within yourself, and then you don't have to worry about how it's going to appear outside, right? So let me go back to that for a second. Is you don't want to be someone's trophy wife. You don't want to be someone's trophy husband, like worth it only to build up their ego, because that's only short term. And then it turns into, this is what he talks about, Eckhart Tolle, in that book, in The Power of Now, chapter 8. He talks about, then it all falls apart and it becomes a love-hate relationship. And that means it was never love. It was, I agree that you can fill my egotism for now and be my, quote, savior for the moment. And like, I feel so free. I'm like, just took my shoes off. I only have a few minutes, but I'm just so different. If you guys look back at my videos from 2 years ago, I'm just a completely different person. And it was not through trying to be different. It's finally through surrendering into the silence, and just like, I wouldn't even wear a tank top. I have a video on YouTube from 2 years ago. I had to title it. I had to change the title to the tank top video, where I'm like walking through, Southern California, this one area, beach town, where everybody's like in bikinis and stuff. But I was wearing a tank top for my first time. Like, and I just felt so bare, and I felt like it was so wrong for me to wear a tank top, you know? And it's like, no, if you live on a tropical island, you're not trying to show off your body. This is just how people dress, you know, you can be at ease. But anyway, so going back to, this is all for you. This is all so you can learn these things in your own life and apply them to your own life, right? If I look at this power yoga video that I had access to 20 years ago. I had the VHS tapes in my garage, you know, maybe not a VHS player anymore, but I had access to this 20 years ago, but it just seemed too simple. Your egotism will make fun of it, just like your egotism might make fun of me or make fun of my videos or run from me. Now I understand so much. Like, I was so feeling rejected by being ghosted a long time ago. This one person ghosted me, and then I had to look up what was ghosted, because some 20-year-old had to tell me, oh, you got ghosted. I'm like, what is that? And so I had this full, some people call it a forced awakening, forced spiritual awakening, because other things in my life were breaking apart. And I love how this one teacher I know calls it, he says, it's like, well, didn't you know you weren't rejecting, you weren't throwing away your piece of crap shack that you had built up. You know, you thought this was your castle in the sky. And so it's like the universe, you can call it universe or divine love or God, had to come in and tear that thing down so that a castle could be built, you know, something could be built on a better foundation. And so it's like, I don't mind now at all. I don't mind, because I'm so happy. I wouldn't have let go of all these stupid things I was running after. And I call them stupid because stupid means stooping your id, taking away your own power, running after empty things like getting my worth externally. And oh, there's a dandelion over there, but I don't want to pick it even to blow. But I guess if we blow it, then I'm gonna get it. Then all the seeds go everywhere. You know, we're helping to spread the seeds. And they call it a weed, so let's see. Every direction, right? So, like, how much money would you pay to get in touch with this childlike aspect of yourself, you know? You don't have to pay anything. Just enter into the silence. But we don't enter into the silence, just like I didn't do the yoga videos because I didn't think it would work, you know? Because I kept insisting to myself to keep relating to myself in an egotistic way. It's like, you have to look good for me. And then I kept feeling like crap and shame because I wasn't looking good enough for myself, which you can never do. You can never look good enough for the ego. You can never make enough money for the egotism. You can never make enough money for that girlfriend that lives by her egotism. You can never like be alternative enough for her if you disavow money and you're like, I'm an alternative person. And you can never, it's never enough when you live that way. You can never be that for another man. It's like, you don't have to try so hard. That song by Colby Kelly is so good. You don't have to give it all away. You just have to get up and enter into the silence. All right, you don't have to do that. I'm inviting you to do that. Like, enter into the silence. Learn what the silence is. I was avoiding letting go of all those ego things because the mind wants to control everything. It wants to follow all these rules, and it makes up rules. And there are boundaries that keep us safe and protect us. But the egotism, just start noticing what the egotism is. All my videos are teaching you what soul is and what egotism is. It wants to get its grubby hands on everything. And as soon as you surrender to divine love, to God, and say, all right, not my will be done, thy will be done, then the egotism can come back in all sneaky. And it's addictive. It's so addictive. It's like, it'll be like, oh, okay, now I see which direction you're taking me in, God. I'm going to take that back, divine love, And, oh, now I see what love looks like. And I'm going to reproduce that in my own image, And it's just like, I remember Madeleine Allingham, the writer of A Wrinkle in Time. I took a writing course with her. And she said, every time you have an idol, you create an idol. And you have to let God break that idol again, Break it so that you can come to a higher truth. But we just hold on so tightly. And it's like, if I had just let go and done that yoga video 20 years ago, 5-6 days a week, like I'm doing now, maybe this would have happened. Because he talks the whole time. His name is Brian Kest, K-E-S-T, but the whole time about not living according to your ego and not buying into the ebb and flow and not thinking, oh, I just have to go to a gym to make these perfect muscles so that you're this perfect specimen that I'll like finally. No, like yourself now. Choose to love yourself now. Love yourself by entering into the quiet. Now, I listened to this wonderful John Butler video yesterday. And my friend Chris was saying, like, Cheryl, thank you for reminding me of John Butler. It's a beautiful video. And he's like, I forgot about him. I'm like, I forgot about him because my life was so rapid, was so quick that I couldn't get slow enough to appreciate him. It's like, that guy talks too slow for me to watch, And I know it took me 20 years to catch on to something that Brian made 20 years ago, And so I know not everyone's going to get everything that I'm trying to convey to you. But I just encourage you to enter into the silence and watch the videos that I've made, because all I'm wanting to teach you is how to be free from your egotism. And I'll just keep going on that path. And I gotta go. I wish you so much love. Thanks for being here. Share this.